Think you've seen The Nightmare Before Christmas 1,000 times and know everything? Well, buckle up because we're about to deep dive into the weird world of Halloween Town, uncovering hidden details, Easter eggs, and mind-blowing secrets that you totally missed. By this point, if you know The Nightmare Before Christmas, you probably know Danny Elfman, who is the film's composer and the singing voice of Jack Skellington. Well, not only does he do the singing voice of Jack, but he also makes a little cameo as the little man who lives inside the stand-up bass. When Jack is conducting his scientific research on Christmas, a familiar set of ears can be spotted among the glassware and equipment. That's right, a hidden Mickey among all the lab equipment on Jack's desk. Which is actually kind of funny because Disney didn't even want to put their name on the actual film. When all the creatures gather around Halloween Town, you can actually spot Wolfman wearing a ruffled nightcap reminiscent of the one Granny wore in the story of Little Red Riding Hood. Now I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but this might be a tongue-in-cheek reference to his early adventures as the big bad wolf. During the song What's This, which honestly is one of the best in the entire movie in my opinion, Jack lists all the strange and unusual things he sees in Christmas Town, but easily identifies mistletoe, a traditional Christmas decoration. So why exactly would he recognize this? The only thing that points to him knowing what this plant was is because it is poisonous.
You've poisoned me for the last time.
So later in the movie, Jack Skellington becomes Santa Jack, right? He decides to want to deliver toys to all the kids and take over the role of Santa Claus. Or should I say, Sandy Claus. And the reason for this is during a scene when he sees Santa Claus for the first time, you can see the shadow of Santa Claus and one of his hands actually looks like a claw, leading to the famous Sandy Claus. Now, when Jack takes over Santa, we also see that he delivers his first present. And one detail you might have missed is that he accidentally knocks over an angel decoration off the roof, causing the Christmas lights to tangle around the angel's neck, forming a noose when it falls. Yikes. I see why Disney didn't want their name on the film. Let's take a trip to Dr. Finkelstein's lab because we meet his assistant Igor, which is a character in so many things that honestly could be a cameo in itself. But one detail that might have blown over your head because the movie itself didn't come until later was that Dr. Finkelstein feeds his assistant Igor a box of treats featuring a picture of Frankenweenie, the title character in the early Tim Burton short that was later made into a full-length feature film. And apparently there's also a theory that connects that Victor to the Victor and Corpse Bride to Jack Skellington, but honestly that can be a tangled mess and we're not going to get into that. Now this one I know we probably all know, but I have to point it out for the people that probably miss it, which is very hard to do, but here we are. So Zero's nose is actually a jack-o'-lantern. Oh my gosh, surprise, I know, mind blown. But it burns bright and lights Jack's flight when he becomes Santa Claus, which is also a reference to the classic tale Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
My, what a brilliant nose you have.
So we've all heard the phrase sleeping like a baby, but have we heard sleeping like a dead person? Well, maybe we should, because if you take a look at Jack's bed, it appears to pull out from the fireplace and later it is seen pushed in, much like a drawer at a morgue. During the town meeting when everyone's coming together and Jack wants to discuss Christmas, an old hag dressed in rags and holding an apple can be spotted seated in the back row. To me, this looks to be the evil queen of Snow White after her transformation. I mean, she had to learn poison and everything else from somewhere, so why not take a visit to Halloween Town and learn from the Pumpkin King himself? So when everyone does decide in Halloween Town to take part in the Christmas spirit that Jack, their leader, wants, I mean everyone gets into the Christmas spirit. Because during the song Making Christmas, if you take a look in the background and pause it at just the right time, you can see even the rats get into the holiday spirit and can be seen wearing little Santa hats in the background. So many of the houses in Halloween Town actually have faces to just really give the mood of Halloween, as well as almost all of the colors in Halloween Town are seen to be dimmed or lowered in brightness, while all the bright colors were sent into Christmas Town to really show the contrast between both. So let's go back to when Santa Jack is delivering gifts, because if you take a look at one of the scenes, there's actually 2 Easter eggs in the same scene. The first is actually, if you take a look at what the kids are wearing, because they have some familiar faces on their pajamas. Two of the kids who get the pants scared off of them actually wear pajamas with Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck on them. I still am so surprised with as many Disney references are in this movie that Disney was still afraid to put their name on it. But another Easter egg in the same scene is if you take a look at the two toys that were given to them, because they are actually a nod to Batman Returns, another movie produced by Tim Burton. The toys that the two children receive are actually the giant rubber duck from Penguin in the Batman, but that wasn't the only reference to the Batman. In the movie as well, there's a scene where you can see bats flying out of a spotlight. This also was a nod to the 1989 film Batman, which was directed by Tim Burton, which surprisingly enough was the movie he was working on at the same time as producing The Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you didn't know, The Nightmare Before Christmas is a stop motion animation, which is honestly so hard to even do that I can't even fathom my head around it. So of course, with that, there might be some mistakes that come out. If you pause at the right time during a scene in the movie, you can actually see the strings that were used to hold up the bats during the opening song. In one of the scenes involving Oogie Boogie, you can see Oogie Boogie's dice, and a snake actually slithers through the dice. If you take a closer look at the snake, it's very reminiscent of the sandworm in Beetlejuice. During the scene when Jack's doing the calculations on the big chalkboard, you can actually spot that they include 12/25/93, or Christmas of 1993, which was actually the year the film was released. So we all know and love the trick-or-treating trio Lock, Shock, and Barrel, but have you ever wondered where their masks actually come from? Well, they bear a haunting resemblance to the masked kids in the movie Woman Who Came Back in 1945. If you look, both groups of children terrorize an adult, as well as the masks look exactly similar. If you take a look during the This Is Halloween graveyard scene, one ghost stands out. The first ghost appears to be pretty classically shaped, no problems there. And the second looks like a dog or a werewolf. Again, no real thing standing out there. But if you take a look at the third ghost that pops up, which is the eeriest of the three, it seems to be a two-headed woman, or maybe a set of conjoined twins. I don't know about you, but this adds to the creepy factor of the movie, and I am here for it. There you have it, 20 Easter eggs that you might have missed in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Which was your favorite? Let me know down in the comments below. And as Jack himself would say,
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.